Welcome back. A new piece argues that President Trump's base is finding itself at a crossroads. It finds that, quote, MAGA and America First once functioned as synonyms, two labels for the same revolt against the progressive orthodoxy of an entrenched elite that was unresponsive to the voters. But inside Trump's base, a rising faction now insists the two are diverging. In their telling, Trump's second-term agenda has drifted from first principles. I'm going to bring in the author of that article, Michael Doran. He is the director of the Center for Peace and Security in the Middle East and a senior fellow at the Hudson Institute. Michael, it's great to be with you.
Great to be with you.
Congratulations on that piece.
Thank you.
If you could first just explain to us the differences between America First and the other faction that we're seeing that you wrote so much about that, is becoming increasingly clear.
Well, MAGA is what President Trump wants it to be. America First is this current that is becoming increasingly separate from Trump, led, I think, by Tucker Carlson. Other people in that current are Steve Bannon, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I think you could say Nick Fuentes as well. He's on the margins of it. And they want to separate, especially on foreign policy. They want a more isolationist foreign policy. They want to separate the United States from Israel. They want to try to cut a deal with Putin. They're opposed to Trump's actions in Venezuela. When I wrote the piece, I actually wrote the piece in late October and early November. It came out in Tablet's print magazine, and this was all just kind of starting to come together. But I think this week in Venezuela, we can see that this is really clearly two distinct groups.
And how is that going to impact the president's foreign policy moving forward? He obviously has a much longer agenda that includes more than Venezuela. And when you have this kind of break within his own party, does that make it trickier for him?
It's very tricky, and it's really kind of a contradiction at the heart of the Trump movement, because Tucker Carlson is the #1 broadcaster in the MAGA world. He has enormous reach, particularly with younger MAGA voters, and he's really moving increasingly against the president's priorities. The president so far has, on the Iran question back in June during the war with Iran, he called him kooky Tucker Carlson, but he hasn't completely separated himself from Carlson, nor has J.D. Vance, who's even closer to Carlson. So here's the #1 broadcaster, very close to them, and is really undermining them.
And, we just saw this week on Capitol Hill, the Senate move forward with the War Powers Resolution that would curb some of the president's power to take further action in Venezuela. 5 Republicans joined Democrats to pass that. Now, it's probably not going to pass through the House, and of course, the president would have to sign it. But was that symbolic to you to sort of illustrate this broader point you're making?
Oh, sure. I mean, in terms of the position that let's call them the America First crowd is taking, absolutely. This kind of war powers question that comes up, I think, in every presidency, even in Obama's presidency when he went into Libya, it came up. So that particular issue, not so much. But if you look at what's happening in Trump's coalition, yes, indeed.
And I know we're still, how many years? A couple years away from having to think about who could take over for President Trump. But talk to me about how this division within MAGA, within the base, is going to impact the primary for the Republican ticket.
Well, I think you put your finger on it. This really is a fight over the future of the MAGA movement. And that's why it's funny that the president isn't more directly involved in it. But I think the key issue is that when Tucker Carlson says he wants to separate the United States from Israel, he also is going directly and explicitly against evangelical Zionists. And they are crucial to Trump's coalition. I mean, one of the ways that Trump put together this broad, multi-ethnic, multi-religious coalition was by working through religious groups against the identity politics of the left. So if they get their way and they really have a lot of influence, then they're going to blow apart the coalition.
Well, that will be fascinating to watch to see how deep that divide gets in the coming years. But Michael Doran, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.